I've been fishing for over half my life. In the past 20 years, I've met some of the most amazing people through the love of angling. I've fished some of the biggest matches in the UK and Europe, and against some of the best anglers in the country.
61.50.
Some of them I'm lucky enough to call my mates. On this channel, I'm bringing back some old friends I've met along the way to talk about past experiences, memorable events, and some of the best times we've shared on the bank together. My name's Bradley Vogue. This is the Polar Podcast.
I got home from work and I was like, got to get the haircut, you know?
Yeah.
Just for the boys. Lloyd keeps going, you ready for the podcast? I was like, fucking I am now. Get some of that down.
Here we go. We're here.
We are here.
The second podcast and the first one went really well, and the feedback was
Pretty positive, really positive.
all round.
Thing is, you know it's been all right when your mates don't give you stick.
Yeah.
Like the group chat's been good.
Yeah.
Even Nasty Nick said it was all right.
Even Nasty Nick said
Yeah, I was actually really impressed with
Yeah.
Nasty.
Yeah,
He said that he hadn't got the attention span usually, and he managed to last the whole thing. So
I think it was more we can make sense of what he said to the reply. It was, you know what I mean? We could understand the reply and it was good. So I feel like, first one was good.
So we brought in the big guns.
top dog, top diddly dog.
Not that you can see because we all blend in, but
Yeah. So no, what we've done, we've decided Taddy's going to co-host it anyway, so you're going to meet
Yeah.
him all the time, and we're bringing a couple of pals and people we know. Hopefully, we might even get to people we don't know and interview them. But,
We're aiming for Terry Hearn.
oh, mate, the dream.
Do you know what I mean?
No,
Go
no.
for
light work.
Yeah,
Light work.
easy. We'll get him on it.
I mean, we're aiming for chop, and we've done that, haven't we?
Yeah.
That's what we meant.
That was our first.
Who's Terry?
The thing is, if
Yeah.
you set your bar low, then it can only go up. So
Exactly.
I feel like I've set the stall and it's only up from here, isn't it?
100%.
No. The bar's been set high.
Oh, hi, yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right, mate.
Don't beat yourself up.
We were saying last week that your approach, when you turn up at a lake, it's almost, you know what to do. How do you...
You say this, but I've got it wrong sometimes. Like there's one place I think that we all know, Hartley Lands.
Yeah.
First time I rocked up there, spoke to the bailiff as you do. Then I speak to the bailiff. What does he know? You know what I mean? Don't fill it in. Don't put much bait out.
Jump that.
Look, son, I got 20 kilos for the night in the van. Yeah, I done just that, didn't I? Sea fish rocked up, put about 5 kilos of bait out. Done 20 odd hours, nothing. I was like, went home, tail between the legs as you do, don't you? Like, what does he know, sort of thing. Like, I think that was a Friday night or something. I think by the Tuesday I was back down there. I was like, I ain't having that. I had a chat with a different bailiff. He said the same as the first bailiff. Oh, all right. Fired a single, put kind of been 5 boilies over the top. The bailiff was actually fishing. There's a match lake Finches behind Nick's, where you and Chris fished.
Yeah.
Gates have closed. I literally rocked up 10 minutes before gates closed. Gates have closed. He's locked up. Him and his mates are just having a float fish on there. So yeah, fired a single fucking wafter or whatever it was out. Cut the catapults over the top, left it at that. I hadn't got the second rod out and it went. It was 20-something pound common. I said to bailiff, oh, any chance of a photo or whatever. Lovely common it was. I was like, well, should have done this the first time, wouldn't I? Do you know what I mean?
Chop knows best.
Yeah. But then we had another situation, I think it was a year or two after that, we rocked up there. Do you remember we had the social on there?
Yes.
You fished a couple up with Josh and me.
Yeah.
Like dolphins.
Yeah.
Like we was laughing. For about 3 hours we was laughing. But I'd done the same as before. I was firing singles at them. Couldn't buy a bite.
And then you went solid bags, didn't you? I remember you tying solid bags.
But solid bags, I had the bucket in the van and it was still at the cusp of new to solid bags. I'd only learnt solid bags about a year before. Went down to Lake Christine in the winter when I went to Keith and he got me into the solid bags, but still I weren't solid bag kind of person. And we sat there, it must have been 3 hours, and these fish would one after another in front of me. Yeah. And we are giggling. Yeah. It's that bad. Like, it's honestly, it was that bad. And I was like, I've caught them singles. Why am I not catching them? I was changing hook bait colours.
I remember that now. That was,
we were laughing. It was that funny.
But what I found funny was watching your anxiety levels because it was just like that, bang, 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 and John's like, well, I've got singles on it.
Another rod in.
Different hook baits.
Hook bait colours.
Different this.
Gone.
Little mesh bags of this, little mesh bags
Nothing.
of that, nothing.
Literally, like that, straight to the van, open the van, solid bag bucket, because everyone takes a solid bag bucket now.
Yeah, who doesn't taste it?
Yeah, solid bag
What
bucket out.
Burgess thanks, mate?
It can't have been 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Changed over, solid bag, exactly where I'd been casting anyway.
Yeah.
I think I had 3 or 4 fish that evening.
Yeah. That was when Josh had that big one, wasn't it?
Yeah, he had the
30
comment,
pound.
yeah, that tree. Always does that tree.
Yeah. That willow. It's like
Yeah, it's like it's
Was you
home.
there for that?
I don't think you was. Nah.
I've only fished that lake
Yeah.
once.
That's a great fun.
and
I'll send it through and,
Yeah.
and put it on here because
I disappeared for half hour and Chop was casting in my peg. So, yeah.
You weren't meant to see that. Do you know what I mean? I see him showing, Brad. I was left down there on my own and no one could see. It was my whole plan all along. Yeah, I mean, but then there's other times where I've got it right against the bailiff. Another lake, I don't know if you two know it, Beaver Farm Fishery, Grinstead.
No.
I know, but yeah, I've heard of
Me
it.
and Lloyd went for a stage where we was fishing out of there. Someone we know, Adam Webster, he said to us about it. He used to fish it all the time. He was like, it's a great little place. Come over. So we went over there. I finished work 2 o'clock. Work that long ago. I worked in one stop.
Okay, yeah.
So I
long
finished
time.
at 2 o'clock. Car was loaded. Flew down there. Traffic took me about 2 hours to get there. Opted in there, whatever. Spoke to the guys in the shop. Right, fish it like this yet? I said, I've got 10 mils. He said, I won't use 10 mils. He said, you'll catch bream and bream only. I said, mate, I've got about 5 kilos of 10 mils with me. That's it. Crest baits, Magnum Whites.
Yeah, the old
Loved them.
baits.
Like when we could get them, I loved them. Yeah. I was like, I ain't got a choice. I've got them. That's that. And yeah, rocked up, got set up, whatever. Rods out, 3 or 4 pouches, 10 mils bream. 3 or 4 pouches, 10 mil bream. About 6 bream deep. I think the next one was a 23-pound common or something. I thought, I'm done in here. I've absolutely done in here. The next fish, you couldn't have writ it. Do you know what I mean? It's like you see on Monster Carp and all that. You could not have writ the script. Next fish was the one fish the bailiff mentioned about, was a 27-pound Saint leather in the net. And he was the one that said, don't use 10 mils, you'll catch nothing, you'll just get hammered by bream.
All my fishing now is small baits.
It's something about them.
Yeah.
See, I've now gone slightly different. I've gone big.
You've gone big
I've
baits?
gone 24s.
I don't know. It's a personal thing, isn't it?
But I think everybody.
Bait's personal.
Yeah.
I think everybody has gone small, or everyone that I speak to in my circle's now gone small. So I'm like, I'm going to break the mould a little bit. And my club ticket is chocker full of bream and tench. So I'm like, I'm going to give him some donkey shows.
Yeah, but I bet you don't give it a second thought about putting a solid out with 2 mil pellet.
No, I put a 20 mil bait in it.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
But still fish over 2 mil pellet?
Yeah. Well, I fish like powders in mine. I don't really fish pellet in mine.
Oh, well, like crumb?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crumb
Yeah, but
in mine.
but in your solid bad bucket, do you not have crumb mixed in with it?
Yeah.
And just
Yeah.
load it all.
So I
the
don't
time?
have, like when you see I think Tom Maker does it, or Rob Burgess, where he has crumb, pellet.
I don't
crumb.
layer it, no.
I don't.
It's all
I
in
just
one
go-
bucket,
I just
yeah,
go
yeah,
all
yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Like krill powder and all of that, and then I'll just inject it with goo and out it goes.
But it was that session at Beaver that started the 10 mil session. Because when a bailiff has said, don't use 10 mils, and then
Yeah.
you've had the one fish that he's after, all of a sudden I'm like, I'm 10 mil obsessed. I just think I'm going to take over the world with 10
Yeah.
mils.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I fish so much more confident over 10 or a 12 rather than a 15 or an 18. I don't know why. It's just in my head, small baits.
Yeah, I mean, when you first start fishing, you buy a kilo of 18 mils, don't you? Because that's
I
the
think
thing,
we all
isn't it?
started
Yeah,
with
yeah.
18
Big,
mils,
big
didn't we?
fish, big bait, isn't it? Like,
100%,
no problem,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, I
It's-
remember I started.
It's a
with
30
18
pounder a chuck with an 18 mil boilie, isn't
Yeah.
it? Which reality that soon ends up not being
I think
true.
it was Craig Outram from A2. I think he got me on the small baits.
It's a bit like dumbbells as well. I think dumbbells are an edge.
Love a dumbbell though. I do love a
Yeah,
dumbbell.
Lloyd's the
Not-
same. Lloyd
not
just
many
buys them. Dumbbells,
places-
dumbbells, dumbbells.
Yeah.
Not many places roll them, do they? I know CC Moore do.
Yeah, CC Moore do, DNA do. The first one that I actually come across them was just Ace. They've just started back up.
Ace baits.
Yeah,
Down
they've
at,
just started back up.
Dave's
Dartford.
down at...
They were down at, I don't know if they're still
Dartford.
down at Big Lake. I don't know if they're
Dartford,
still
yeah.
down there
No.
or whether they've relaunched from there.
Actually, I'll tell you the other reason that I do fish with smaller baits, but I do like a 50. It's a front stick. I like a throwing stick.
Do you?
Yeah, and a 10mm bait in a carbon throwing stick. So a decent throwing stick.
Yeah.
It's like 40 yards.
Chop likes a spom. Don't know if you've heard.
Yeah. Making mountains, they call it, don't they?
That's Panda. That started with Panda, didn't it?
Mate, you can spom.
For days.
But you're accurate as well.
But then, obviously, that was the first time, it literally come from Panda. The first time I ever fished with him, we fished, his mate let him down for Four Seasons Cup on Sandhurst.
Yeah.
And I didn't even really know Panda. And my brother said to me, like, because he plays darts with my brother, and he said to Carl, he was like, do you want your brother to fish this competition with me? Never fished with a geezer. So I obviously started talking to him, whatever. He went up there for a bit of a recce. I mean, I love Panda, but he didn't really find a lot out. It was busy. What can you do? Do you know what I mean? You can't do a recce when it's busy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had a brief chat with him or whatever. And I went armed 40.
Hold on, sorry. That's how you met Panda?
Yeah.
He just invited you on a comp?
Basically. Obviously, I briefly...
So I thought you fished the lake together and
Yeah,
it was like old friends.
No. So obviously, he knew how much I was into fishing and all the rest of it. But obviously, him playing darts and Cole getting into darts and going up 6-1, he then said to Cole, do you reckon your brother would fish with me in a competition? And then, that's how it really started. We briefly knew each other.
The weird thing is Chopper and Panda and you, that's how this has all come about. That's how that...
From fishing comps.
From fishing matches,
Yeah.
I think that's the first time I met you in the Four Seasons match.
It was.
Yeah.
I actually briefly bumped into you and Shipsy long before that.
Oh, really?
At Monks. I'm sure it was at Monks.
Yeah, you keep saying that. I can't
I'm sure it was you two.
I do like beer. So.
Yeah, it might. But going back to the Panda story, didn't really find a lot out, and I said to him, right, spoke to another couple of Rick from Fish On It, obviously he'd fished it before, and he was like, if you can get them going, it was like a good amount of particle. It was like 40 kilos. 40 kilos particle, 60 kilos of boilie. 40 kilos particle, 20 kilos boilie. It took 60 kilos for a 48-hour match.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I was prepared.
Yeah.
We found a spot, it was a hole. I mean, it was, I don't know, 8 foot by 8 foot, probably not even that big. Found this hole, and there I was. Like, Panda hadn't seen anything like it at the time. Just baiting this hole.
I can imagine.
I mean, but a lot of people on Sandhurst were just taking it easy, just little bits. And we caught one, and I was like, let's keep this going. I just kept, every 2 or 3 hours, just kept topping up. Caught another.
Do you think that's why you do so well though? Because you don't mind putting the bait in? I think sometimes...
Oh, I'm not worried about what people think.
That's what I was going with it, Sometimes I think to myself, everyone's sitting on their hands, not putting loads in, and I'll put 10 spawns out and I think to myself, everyone's watching me, thinking,
I don't care.
Look at this geezer.
I'm not bothered.
10
not bothered by it.
spawns,
No.
I'm exactly the same.
You don't care, do you?
Nah.
Do you think that's why you get good results?
Yeah, but then sometimes it causes me problems because I'm spamming when I shouldn't be. I'm too eager to get bait out. Like, there's definitely places and times I've fished where 100% I should have put a single or a solid bag out and nick 1 or 2 and then gone, rather than go and then delay.
I really liked what you did at the Bay, and I remember coming around to talk to you, and you had a couple of singles sort of working and bits, and then you got to Wednesday. I think I come and saw you.
Might have been
Thursday.
I think it was Thursday or something.
And I remember coming to see you, and he was like, "I've just gone big. I've done a spot.
Yeah, that was impressive.
Yeah, but I mean,
there's 6, 7, 8 kilo on there. I'm going to see what happens." And you go, "Do you know what? It's a good gamble."
Which still isn't a lot of bait.
No,
6, 7, 8 kilos.
It was a bit more than that.
Compared to what we was using, like
a
handful, like we spoke about last week.
But I think I rocked up to Bay with, I think, 60 kilo.
Yeah.
And then obviously we had 10 kilos of pellet and 10 kilos of maize.
Yeah. So 80 key.
Yeah. But I was prepared. Like, you look at Bay and the stamp of the fish in there.
That's exactly.
I mean, you could. I've done weeks in France where I've done 100 kilos of bait and come home with none.
Yeah.
And I've caught 8 fish.
Yeah.
And you think 8 fish for 100 kilos? You sure? But I've caught bites. I caught and had bites all week. So obviously the volume of bait wasn't an issue.
Yeah.
But at Bay, I mean, I didn't go hard because they were showing, and it was like, right, I don't need to put them off. I've got a week. If the show's slowed down, we can try and introduce the bait and all the rest of it. But after the first day or two, and fish had been nicked left, right, and centre, your brother weren't putting much bait in, so-and-so weren't putting, he was catching them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing was getting caught over bait. I'm the first person that I can pick up a spot rod and put 20 kilos on a spot.
Yeah.
Not a problem, but as you mature in your fishing, I've definitely found that the baiting approach has matured. I can put 100 kilos of bait out in a week. I wouldn't think twice about it.
Yeah.
But at bay, to actually fish in the spots that done me fish, I probably didn't do any more than 3 or 4 kilos.
No, but I mean, thinking about the way Lake One's just switched off, you can still encourage a bite, can't you?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Oh, through bait, 100%.
So
And
many
that's
people sit on their hands and just wait for them to come back or wait for the lake to switch back on again, but you can still encourage a bite,
Yeah.
and I think that's what you've done really well out there.
but like Dan said, it got. I'm sure it was. I was saying about it at Wednesday at dinner, and it was just like the fishing died real quick. It died, and no one was putting any bait in.
Yeah.
And I found a spot that I know I'd done fish the week before, so obviously fish visit, hadn't really seen anything. Good spot, and I just thought, right, now until we go home, I'm just committing. And I think I've done about 15 kilos of bait on it over the next 3 days.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
was
still ain't.
which is more than
And I
most
think-
people done all week.
And I think that's the key. Is
I had nothing to lose. The spot had done not a single bite.
Yeah, and
No one else was catching. I think 1 or 2 fish from Wednesday got picked off, and that was it.
Yeah.
as we
Something
spoke
had to
about
change
in
and
our
had to be
last
tried.
podcast is the fact that you are first of all spomming. You ain't
Yeah.
using a boat.
Yeah.
Because that's what 9 times. You
Yeah.
know, everyone goes to France to use a boat, don't
Yeah.
they? So the fact that you're doing that, I think, is a plus. It's a different, because however accurate, and you are very accurate. However accurate you are, it's still going to be left and right a little
Yeah.
bit, and you're
Oh,
going to
100%, yeah.
So you're going to create a bigger parcel of bait, and I remember talking to you about it, and I was like, because you sort of come away from your swim, and I was like, that's a good gamble. That's a very, very good gamble,
And paid off.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was nothing to lose. There
No.
100% there was nothing to lose. I just felt that no one else was doing it because I could.
But you didn't have a fish off it, did you?
No.
That big un come off a single.
Yeah, it
longer.
come off the 2 I had were long. I started fishing. I think I checked it with the rangefinder. Took the golf rangefinder, checked it, and I think it worked out at like 26 point something wraps. Was halfway. So I found the road, which we found out was the road, at like 21 or whatever it was, and we'd seen them show just past that. But like you said, you probably fished too far too early.
Yes.
Whereas obviously, when I spoke to Jack, who was fishing next door, he cast at a show, and we think he was probably fishing 18, 19 wraps,
Yeah.
and I was fishing 21. So we didn't push him too far, and
No.
he caught steady for the first 3 or 4 days, the same as a lot of people caught.
Yeah.
But he didn't push him out. He done the right thing.
I think between you, Jack, and Elliot, you was all on the phone
You
a
bet.
lot. weren't
Me,
you?
do you know
Like
what?
phone calls.
Me and Elliot, because we see him to the left of Elliot. I didn't know if he could see it because to the left of Elliot, obviously it bayed back in to his left, and I didn't know whether he could. There was a tree and where he was set. I didn't know if he could see him. And he was like, "Yeah, but they're your." I was like, "Mate, they're not my water." He was like, "I was like, trust me." I was like, "Right." So I was like, "Right." Got what I was clipped. I think I had one at 25. I clipped the spom up at 25, I think it was, and I put the marker float on it, fired it out, and he was like, "That's miles away." I was like, "Mate." He was like, "Right, I'll put a marker float to where I've seen them." He put a marker float out. I was like, "You're miles away."
Yeah.
And he was like, "You sure?"
This is going
It's back to that perspective.
Yeah,
That
the
lake
perspective.
just
Oh,
completely threw me. I've never
yeah.
known, we spoke about it last week, but you can turn up to 90, well, I think 90% of waters, and you go, that's better with water.
Yeah.
And you
Oh,
kind of
100%.
work it out, and you go,
Yeah.
that's about 80.
But then I think some of that is because of the angles you're looking at.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
cause me and Elliot were offset.
Yes. Similar
then-
to me and Percy.
and
That's
then-
exactly it.
So Elliot's left, obviously, it bowls back in.
Yeah.
So it's even, the distances are even. But
Yeah.
I stood there and with the rangefinder, I checked for his swim, stood at the front of my swim, zapped the front of his swim, and it was whatever it was, halved it. I'm sure it was like 26 and a half wraps. So we said that, I was like, my absolute maximum, if they do still sit out there, will be 25.
Yes.
And he was like, well, I'm fishing 21 wraps to the left. I was
he
like,
could
so
have
you're
gone-
not even coming towards me.
So he could have probably gone 27, 28 wraps by the time you've taken into consideration that diagonal angle.
Yeah, but we said to
You know.
him, where are you casting? He's like, oh, right, that's at the toilet block. I said, right, stay at 21. I was like, cast to, I think it was your brother's truck.
Yeah.
So he cast to Reese's truck. And then he was like, right, stay at 21 and cast at, I think it was the bailiff's hut, which was then, or he was then at Jack or whatever, or at swim 1. So he cast at 20, and I was like, mate, he was like, that is in your swim. And I was like, mate, it's not even close.
Yeah.
Yeah. We spoke about last week's podcast just about how deceiving the distances were and how different it looks. The lake looks from different pegs, and I think that's the point we're coming back onto now because we weren't even close to where we. But then sometimes that pays off, doesn't it? Giving them a channel in the middle to hold
Well,
up.
it comes back to my original point of don't fish your boundary.
Yeah.
Or push out to your boundary.
Yeah.
But give them that.
But it's even better when you've got an exclusive booking like that, and you can work that to everyone's advantage.
Yeah.
Because Elliot started catching straight away from that.
Yeah.
Said the word got round. Everyone, like the bailiff said, the week before, Pink was lighting the place up. Walked in the swim and all I could see were yellow pop-ups, yellow
That
whatever,
was another great
everywhere.
spot. Yeah.
And it was all over the floor. I went yellow. I spoke to you. I think someone else had one off yellow, and it's
yellow
like,
was
and
definitely,
everyone, no one had anything to hide. You was there as a holiday as well as the fishing, innit? So if we can get everyone to catch, then you can chase your own targets. Do you know what I'm saying?
That ended up, by that Thursday, Friday, that ended up being the priority for everyone, and it, I think it was, it's unfortunate what happened to Panda.
Yeah.
But, and I'm sure he'll agree with this, is we done everything possible. Or, he lost that one, didn't he? And that's just,
but then
carp fishing, isn't it?
Rob didn't catch anything, but Rob lost too.
Yeah. Early doors as well, that was.
Yeah.
I remember that because he said he dropped one and then drops another one. And I was thinking...
And that ain't too painful, is it? If you drop too early, you're like, I've had chances, I've got more chances. And then he didn't have another chance. But everyone fished well. And I think Elliot was the same. When we were speaking on the phone about it, he was like, oh, you putting much out? I was like, mate, 3 or 4 over the top.
Yeah.
I mean, and you look at realistically how much bait's in the bomb, it's not a lot.
No.
If you was to put 10 kilos out, you're there for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And he just fished it well, and I'm not going to sit there and try and take credit for it because he still had to cast it, but it actually feels really good when you can sit there and ring someone on the other side of the bank and say, mate, you got to get on that, and he's like, whoa, it's not my water, and it's like, no, it actually is.
You're almost
Do you know what I mean?
arguing about the honourable
exactly that,
thing, aren't
yeah.
you? And you go,
But it paid off for him. I think he had 4 fish off it in the end, didn't he? Did he finish on 4 fish?
I think so.
And I'm pretty sure all of them come from that.
Yeah.
But then it was
they
just
were good ones as well.
Yeah, it was good angling on his behalf because he could have just left it and gone, oh no, it's not my water, it's not this, it's not that. But he made the effort. He got in the water. He put the spot out. Do you know what I mean? He made the effort. He was there for 20 minutes making sure that he found the right spot, and then the phone would go again. He'd go, I found a spot. Look, can I just double check this is all right? Yeah. I was like, mate, it's fine.
Yeah.
So
he's a good lad.
yeah,
They
they say you can lead a camel to water, but you can't make it drink it.
Yeah.
But we helped him to what we could see, and he just took the balls by the horn, and he made the most of it.
He foul hooked one as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I'm sure it was him. He fell at one, didn't he?
And then
Didn't count it.
just flopped it straight back.
Yeah, flopped it straight back.
And then I remember talking because that was his first fish. He foul hooked
I
his
think it
first
was,
fish.
yeah.
I remember talking to him
really?
at dinner.
Yeah.
Just
Or after
Yeah.
dinner, and I was like, mate, good on you.
Yeah, he just.
And can't go to smiling on him at that point, mate.
Yeah.
The fact that he finished up on what he finished up on, good on him.
I think he had four 40-pounders, was it? Or 3 40-pounders and a 50?
I think he had a 50.
I can't remember.
Really
I think I photographed most of them, but
there's a really, really good photo of him where he's holding it like guitar style.
Yeah.
And it just looks, and he.
I think it was decent fish because we all went round for that, didn't we? But that was the other thing that was mega, wasn't it? Like helping each other out and people that had not sort of experienced the fish in the water and things like that. And I think Jack needs a bit of credit for how he handled himself.
Yeah, 100% on that. And you being next door to him, you helped him out as much as he wanted helping, and he loved it, didn't he?
It's not that he couldn't handle himself. Just until you're in that situation.
Yeah. He lacked confidence when he arrived, And I think you being next to him just gave him the confidence. You didn't have to do anything for him. He knew exactly what to do.
Yeah.
It's just having that confidence of having someone next to you and saying, mate, you know what you're doing.
Yeah,
and he fished well as well.
Yeah, it's also dealing with them on the bank. I think so many people get so excited, they get the fish out so quick. When they're that big, there's no harm in giving them 15 minutes in the water.
Yeah, no.
Absolutely no harm. Like, secure the fish, right. Now what you do, right?
Yeah.
So you now got to make sure you get the sling zeroed, because everyone's got a couple of slings, and
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Get their sling zeroed, get the mat under, because luckily we had all the weigh bars there, which godsend, wasn't it?
Yeah,
right,
lovely.
get that right. Have you got water ready? Right, have you got your waders ready? Yeah. Have you got your camera ready? Yeah. Who's doing the photos? Who's coming around? This, that, and other. And it's after the first one, it was so much easier because he knew the process.
Yeah.
And especially in France, like, I love it. I could go to France and just take photos, help people out for a week, no problem at all. And I don't think he quite believed that someone was going to help him to that extent.
To that extent, yeah, I agree
To
with
everything,
that.
to getting him in, right, you need to be there in the water for that photo, right? You've got to be there, But talking of the bait and approach thing, he kept it so simple. He was like me. I think he had 40 or 50 kilos of bait.
Yeah.
He took most of it home.
Yeah.
Because it didn't warrant it.
No.
It was just a couple of spoms here, a couple of spoms there. And that's all they were doing. They were picking. And he for someone that's not fished France, he fished it incredibly well
Yeah, he
and
did.
read the situation.
Yeah.
But I think no one filled it in. Martin, he done the same, just dropping little parcels in the boat.
Yeah.
He's a canal man, isn't he?
Yeah, he
He'd
is.
rather flick a bit of bread at half a wrap, as he likes to say, and catch them that way. But
One of
It
the
took
best canal anglers
Yeah.
we know,
Yeah.
to be fair.
it took him, to be fair, it took
him.
him a couple of days, didn't it? But once he caught one, he was just, he caught that second one, and if the fish were on it, he would have caught more.
Yeah.
He was just
I
clever.
think that all comes back to the whole trip, and I think every
Yeah.
France trip, it's that first fish. Soon as that first fish happens,
Yeah.
you relax. You go, okay, I'm done.
It's
I
amazing.
know what, you know what I mean? I know what I need to do.
Yeah, but I
now.
think
know.
it does
You
more than
can-
that. I think it provides you with so much information.
Yes, yeah.
Like hook bait colours,
Yeah.
the amount of bait.
Yeah.
Like, if you can
Yeah.
nick a fish quick off a small parcel of bait, you're like, right, we'll try that again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then if you nick another one, then you can build from it. But everyone was just nicking on small bits, and no one just went how to lever and filled it in, because they were still just nicking bites. Nothing warrant putting a lot of bait in.
No.
No.
I mean, Lloyd and Chris, they were just smashing them on solids.
Yeah.
Like, they were seeing them, showing, cast to them, catching them. I mean, Lloyd ended up on a good few fish in the end, didn't he?
Lloyd,
Yeah,
I'll
he's
tell
done
you
well.
what, I remember.
He's solid bag obsessed now,
Me
though.
and you,
Like,
me and you.
obsessed. Like, honestly.
Me and you
One
spoke
trick
about
pony,
this.
honestly.
He sat in his swim for about an hour with a solid bag and his rod up like that. Sat there, solid bag ready to go. Fish showed. He just went literally
Yeah.
in the rings of it.
Yeah.
I think it was like a couple of hours later it went. And you
Yeah.
just see sitting there with patience like that.
Yeah.
I haven't got the patience to do that.
No.
But that's
No.
still baiting approach. If he's seen fish show in front of him and absolutely filled it in, he wouldn't have seen them, I don't think.
No.
I think they were put off by it. I really think they were put off by bait. And it would have just pushed them into
Yeah.
someone else.
So me and Chipsy went on probably Friday morning. We loaded his bait boat up with a load of pellet, and I was like, right, chuck it. You know, we kind of said, look, put it between us, chuck it
Yeah.
on the road, and we'll keep an eye on
Yeah,
it all
watch
day
it.
and,
Yeah.
and see if anything. Nothing, and we put a bit of salmon oil on it as well, so
Yeah.
it would have
Slicked, yeah,
slicked
yeah,
up.
yeah.
You know, and you go, there's fish on that
Yeah.
spot. You know, because they were coming from, as we discussed last week, you know, Reese's swim to Adam's swim. They were getting there somehow,
Yeah.
and you go, surely if we can stop them in their tracks halfway.
Yeah.
But obviously doing that, you know, a bit of salmon oil on pellet, and it had been soaking a week, so it was properly soaked into the pellet as well. As soon as anything had touched, nothing come up, nothing.
But then Adam was another one, wasn't he? Struggling, rested his swim. Fish started coming in, didn't fill it in.
No.
Just dropped small parcels of
He-
bait and nicked them.
He played a blinder, Adam. He should be really happy.
Yeah.
We said it last
Yeah,
week
yeah.
on the podcast as well, but he done really, really well. For the new anglers that have just started fishing, what would be the bit of advice, the baiting approach, staying on the topic,
Yeah.
that you would give to them? Obviously,
For day tickets,
yeah, let's talk day tickets.
talk to bailiffs, because I feel like with day tickets, for a period of time, there was an absolute stigma that bailiffs didn't want you to catch.
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I do agree with that.
Especially with the massive start to Facebook and all that. Someone would put on there, I'll go in here, talk to the bailiff. Now, don't listen to the bailiff, don't want you to catch. It's the opposite.
Yeah.
Like, I've learned that lesson. The Hartleylands thing was a massive, like, eye-opener. I mean, I've spoke to many places I've been to. Elphick's prime example, fished there in the middle of winter. Like, we fished there on the 2nd of January, 2nd, 3rd, done like 3 nights on there. Spoke to Mark, the owner. He was like, just literally keep the bait trickling in.
Yeah.
He was like, just a couple of spoms every few hours. Just a handful of maggots, handful of broken boilie. Every 3 or 4 hours, 1 or 2 spoms. Just keep it trickling. For the first 36, I don't think I had anything. And then the last 36 hours, I had 4. And it was like -5 at night. It was absolutely carnage. But I probably would have given up putting the bait in if he hadn't have said, just keep trickling it in. If you're not catching, just keep trickling it in, keep trickling it in.
That's where I struggle, because my brain clicks in and I go...
You struggle to see the process through.
Yes, and I go,
100%.
well, that's not working. I'm going to stop that now, and I'll fish it, and I'll leave what's there, fish over it, whatever, but I'm done. I don't have the... I don't know. I don't have the resilience.
But you need to be in a situation where you're proven right.
And that's.
And once you're proven right, it's the same as the whole 10 mil situation. I stuck with 10 mils for a long, long time because I caught that one fish the bailiff went on about.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I proved the point.
Yeah.
But I think especially with day tickets, talk to the bailiffs.
Yeah. I think that's a good. And then saying the bailiff don't want you to do well. Don't you think that's on the whole
it's a
social
stigma.
media?
Yeah. The social media doesn't want you to catch fish. They want to catch them themselves from sitting indoors.
Nobody's ever happy for you
No,
on social media.
It's horrendous. It's horrendous. Because they want the fish left for them to catch, but they don't go fishing because they are sitting indoors.
That's where I find, I think social media is quite a toxic play and a very big mental health minefield where people, anglers will go fishing 3 times a year, 48 hours, clear up, and then they'll trickle photos through social media all year. I've just had another one. I've just had another, and you go, it's different weather.
Yeah.
It's now winter. You've got bright sunshine in your shorts and t-shirt, mate. But that's the problem. I think that's the problem. Everyone's got this they think, sponsors, they've got an obligation to their sponsor to carry it out and go fishing and be active and everything like that. So it's like a catch-22 scenario, isn't it? We obviously need the manufacturers, and you need sponsors to get the manufacturers' gear out there. Yeah. But you end up with a problem where you've just got this. Everybody thinks everybody else is catching when actually we're all in exactly the same boat, fishing the same swim.
But if you look before Facebook, I remember years and years ago, a place called Tanyards, it's actually changed hands now, Frogmore. Yeah. You'd go down there, and the only information you had about how well it was fishing was the bailiffs. Yeah. You couldn't go on a Facebook page and put a post up and someone go, I was there last week, I had this. The first thing you would do, you would find the bailiff or the owner and be like, because they had 3 specimen lakes down there, which one's fishing best? Yeah.
Because that's the other thing, and I know, on my English, my club lake is, I've now got into a big habit, and I think this is a big thing, back to being a beginner angler, is finding fish. Yeah. You've got to find fish. It's the key. It don't matter how good your baiting approach is or what bait you're using. If they ain't there, you ain't catching. If you're walking around a day ticket, you've got 18 hours, you're turning up after work, or you're going, I've got to get to work in the morning or whatever. You haven't got that opportunity to find fish. No, so you need to go and speak to everybody, speak to other anglers. If you take 3 hours walking around the lake chatting to people, but you find that one nugget of information...
You've got no chance of me doing that. I don't like talking to people. No. That's why I bring Lloyd. Lloyd does that. He does the talking. Job done. Off you go, Lloyd. Go on.
If you can find out that little nugget of information, you're winning, aren't you? Yeah. Because you're just fishing blind everywhere all the time, and that's disheartening. Nobody wants that.
No, that is a good point you've made. You can be the most accurate spommer in the world, but if the fish ain't there, they ain't there. You ain't going to catch them, are you? So that is number one, really, isn't it? Find the fish.
Yeah, I mean,
That's probably the best bit of
but then,
advice.
but with day tickets is because there's so many people. Sometimes that ain't possible, and there's hundreds of people that have said it on podcasts, and it ain't possible. But when they do come, because 90% of day tickets they move so much because the amount of angler turnover there is.
Yeah, I also agree with that.
They get pushed round, but you have to make the most of it when you're in front of them. And I find, because the whole filling it in side of fishing, I feel has calmed down massively because of the takeover of solid bags.
Yes.
I feel there is a lot of day tickets that I feel are fishing better because there's not that amount of bait going in. And I think that obviously so many more and more places are going to boilie and pellet only. People can't afford to fill it in with boilies.
No, they can't.
And I feel like obviously being allowed pellet solid bags, I feel like more people that fish solid bags, the better it for a period of time until obviously they really want it.
Yeah.
I feel like it is benefiting lakes 100%.
Yeah.
Less bait going in and just sitting there and not getting eaten.
I think that spins on to another point is the quality of bait.
The quality of bait's
I think
so
it's
much
gone
better
through
now.
the roof, but there is still cheap and bad bait out there. There is going to be that, and because the price point's right, someone that's just starting up fishing is going to go, why am I going to go and spend £14 for a kilo of krill, sticky krill, or mainline or whatever? I'm going to go and spend a £5 on that, and then they're going in with it because they've watched a video on Gigantica or wherever where someone's absolutely filling it in, and that's. But I think going back to it all depends on what day ticket you're on, doesn't it? If you're
100%. Yeah,
there are different levels of day ticket fisheries,
but you've got to fish and bait accordingly to the stock as well. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? If you go to a day ticket that it's got a couple of 30-pounders in, not a bad head of 20s, but a lot of smaller fish, they are going to get through a lot of bait, but nowhere near somewhere like Elphick's North Lake, where there's a lot of big uns in there.
Yeah. So
I think another thing to think about is the stock that you're fishing for and bait relevance to the amount of fish in there.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Because if you're fishing a heavily stocked water, okay, there is no problem with putting that little bit more in because the amount of stock they are going to get through it.
Yeah.
Same as, like I said, North Lake, there's a lot of big uns in there. So putting that more bait in there is not going to be an issue because the amount of big uns that will clean it out. But if you're fishing somewhere that's not got that many fish in it, filling it in, one or two fish, the rest are going to get put off sometimes. Do you know what I mean? So you have just got to bear in mind the stock of fish that you are fishing for. I think that a lot of people forget that. Not everywhere does have thousands and thousands of carp in it.
No, it's a good point. I suppose this goes to another point that you do have to pick your venues wisely according to ability.
And what you want.
Yeah. You can't just... I'm not saying if you're a beginner you can't go fish really hard venues, but there are a lot of people out there jumping the gun a bit early and then...
Yeah, I mean, I learned... I fished with my dad when I was younger, gave it up, and we started. You taught me a lot, mate.
Yeah.
You taught me a hell of a lot. And we used to go to Orchard on overnighters.
Yeah.
And, I'd go to the reservoir over at Hartley Land.
Yeah, the Res, great venue.
And I'd go over there and catch 25, 30 fish in a day. But it taught me so much.
Yeah.
And, the biggest one out there's, I don't know, 15, 16 pound.
Yeah.
And then you go... All right, where's the next level up then? Let's go.
But then, coming back to talking about bailiffs and ability, some places I've been to, I mean, we keep mentioning it, but Hartley Lands is a very good place for that. I mean, I've seen the bailiffs come across people doing it wrong.
Yeah.
And they've helped them. They've not criticised them, they've not beat them down, they've not said, get your gear and go. They've stood there and gone, we're not allowed barbed hooks. Look, ideally we don't like you crimping them, but for now, let's crimp them.
Yeah.
This is slightly wrong, that's slightly wrong. And I've seen them 2 or 3 times with slightly younger people, or even older people that have just got into it they've given up the drinking and they've had enough of that and they're getting a bit older and they want a bit of relaxation. And I've seen multiple, at one point they had 3 different bailiffs, and I've seen all 3 of them on multiple occasions actually helping people.
That's the key.
And that is when a bailiff becomes a bailiff.
Yes.
I've fished other places that, I mean, it was a and this poor youngster, he hooked this fish like almost on gate close.
Yeah.
The last cast, just one more cast. We all want that last.
One more cast, yeah.
And
No, we ain't
Yeah, sorry
promoting
about
no bigger companies up here, mate.
But he was with I think he was with his granddad or whatever, and he hooked this fish, PB. Me and Lloyd were there. We see him playing this fish. Had a wander up. Only had a small one. Probably wasn't cut out for it, but it's all the kid could afford.
Yeah.
Like, we spoke to his granddad or whatever, and his granddad started running stuff to the car park while he's playing his fish. Me and Lloyd stayed with him, whatever, like, just to let the bailiff know, like, he's playing a fish. Well, landed the fish, done the photos, like, helped him out, over the moon, like, he'd saved his pocket money just to pay for a day session, all he could afford. Like, when you got talking to him, it was like, actually brings into reality, like, how expensive fishing can be. Mate, the bailiff come over. He was steaming. He was like, what are you doing? You should be out the gate by now. He's like, mate, he's hooked one, like, just as he's packing up.
Yeah.
Well, he should have brought it in before that, but he didn't know he was going to catch one. Like,
Yeah.
you pay for that time, especially at his age. I can't even remember how old he was, but he was 14, 15. Especially at that age, you want every ounce. And he hadn't caught nothing all day. Waited all day for that one.
Yeah.
And the bailiff absolutely killed the catcher. Absolutely killed it.
But
Because
as a fishery
he felt
owner,
bad.
Isn't that what you want?
100%.
You want that young lad to
100%.
go
That
home.
14, 15-year-old is going to remember that forever, going to remember that lake forever.
Yeah.
And the first thing he's now going to think of is that bailiff. And you're going to go, maybe we'll swerve that.
Well, to be fair,
You blame him?
me and Lloyd obviously took the photo. I think Lloyd took the photos, whatever. We took the photos and we said to him, look, obviously you've got to get out of this shop. Give us your number. Like, if it's all right with your granddad, give us your number. We'll send the photos over.
Yeah.
Sent the photos over, whatever. After that, he went to Mailsole
Yeah.
because bad experience.
Yep.
Like, bad experience. Then went to Mailsole. So me and Lloyd were like, right, we've got some bits at home. So, and he was fishing with a mate of his the same age. I mean, all mixed match, this, that, and other, but we had a handful of old bits indoors, unhooking mats and things like that. Lloyd cleared his shed out. I mean, geezer's got loads of stuff in there. And we just, hey, Fishman, come down and see you. We just took a load of gear down to him. Just have it. Just because I felt bad. Nothing to do with me, the lake. Absolutely. I know the owner really well. I've known him for donkey's years. It wasn't the owner. It was one of the bailiffs at the time. And I felt embarrassed for him. Like, it was horrendous. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? That age, and that's where bailiffs get it wrong sometimes.
But that's the.
I know the gate closes at 7 or whatever, but he hasn't. He's not got a bivvy up still. He's not purposely. Do you know what I mean?
No.
It killed it. Honestly,
but-
it killed this capture.
But that's the honeymoon for me. That's the honeymoon period of fishing. 14,
Yeah.
15, with his granddad.
Yeah.
He's probably looked at you.
Parents
and
can't take him, they're
do you
at
know-
work.
Do you know what I mean? He's probably
Yeah.
looked at you and like,
Yeah.
oh look, they're proper carp
Yeah.
anglers coming over.
Yeah.
Look, can you remember that time? And it's instantly gone. And that's. But I do think. I mean, going back to the affordability of fishing is when we were growing up. There was always ponds and stuff.
Oh,
We'd go
people's
poaching,
gardens, all
you know
sorts.
what I mean? And you go,
Yeah.
but you get chased off every now and then.
Yeah.
But we never did any harm.
No.
And you go, but all the places now are all fenced. There's no.
Yeah.
Like,
There isn't anywhere for
Holden
kids.
Pond.
Yeah,
It's like-
they stripped it.
Yeah.
There's nothing in there
Although
anymore.
there are still fish in there. I drove past it the other day. There's a load of roach sitting on the surface.
Yeah, I mean, not the carp that were in there. That was there. I mean, Speldhurst, that was another one.
Yeah.
That
That's
was,
all-
but then that was only free to fish because the people that owned the house behind it owned the lake. The house was derelict.
Yeah,
So
that's
then
it.
someone bought it and they closed it or whatever. But my old man used to go up there because he worked for a cleaning company. His offices, he had litter pickers. So he used to come up there every now and then when he'd pick us up with a black bin liner and a litter picker. And he'd pick up all the rubbish to
Yeah.
make sure that we were still allowed to fish there. Like, as kids, we didn't care, did we? My dad, he used to always bang on, if you don't look after it, you'll lose it.
What was the other one? The one down Broomhill Bank,
A Sunnybank Farm.
Sunnybank Farm.
Go in through the woods.
Yeah.
Leave your bike the other side of the fence. So
Somebody swam through it, didn't they? Who
Yeah.
swam through it?
No, just run through it.
Some-
But you can see the bailiff come across the top of the hill, and he was about 250 yards away, this geezer, and he was never beating you by the time you could wind that rod and
So
grab
you
it
like
back.
pack up,
Yeah,
just
straight
go
through the
wait in the
yeah.
woods, and then come around and walk round. You see him walk
Yeah.
round on the hill and come back
Yeah.
out the woods.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. Oh,
But that's what I think. You know, we all go like the youth of today, and we're all going. Don't want to be on the. You know, nobody wants on the Xbox and stuff. But the stuff that we did as kids isn't accessible anymore.
I've got a story, and I think it's very fitting for this one actually. And to this day, I still don't understand how it happened. It's only because I'm a little bit wiser, and a little bit more knowledgeable that I know it's complete and utter. Me and my brother, when we was young, we just started. We grew up fishing on Darren complex on the club lake, and we used to be there. We used to have our little swing tips. Remember the swing tips?
Yeah.
Oh,
Remember
swing
them?
tips, yeah.
And Mum used to make us our packed lunch, and we caught nothing all day. This is when ace baits were about.
Yeah, they were down at the hut there, weren't they?
And caught nothing all day, so we used to take a little bit of our sandwich off, and I'll never forget it. It was a turkey sandwich, right? Turkey salad sandwich, right? And we pulled it off, and we used to use like little hair rigs.
Yeah.
Put it on the hair and casted it out. Anyway, it's bailiff. Dad used to ask the woman, Pam her name was, to look after us. So she used to send the bailiff around to come and have a look, come and keep an eye on us and that. And we were sitting there, and this bailiff come round, and he said, if you hadn't had a bite all day, you should try this. And he twitched our line. Well, as he twitched our line, it shot off, and we caught a fish, right? And for years and years and years, I thought to myself, how did he do that?
Yeah, he's magic.
Yeah, and it was just pure fluke.
Timing, wasn't it? Timing, perfect timing.
Yeah.
It was a fish. I thought he actually helped me, but he didn't. It was just complete.
Oh, that's fucking brilliant.
I'll never forget it.
Probably so concerned about you boys getting bored
Yeah.
and trashing the place. That's
The minute he just twitched that line, and the minute he let go, it rattled off.
Yeah,
So
nice.
I don't know, maybe it did joke the bait, and the predatory come out, and it was a carp.
There's
mad,
one
isn't it?
story I think you need to recount. There's two actually I want to discuss with you. Remember going to Frogmore?
You're not you and that catfish. Fucking hell.
God, I feel like I need to.
I mean,
mate.
I feel like it was when you was just sort of, you was getting back into it, weren't you?
No, I think I've been back in a little while, but not
Right.
not that long.
You could have convinced me otherwise.
It was awful.
It was about 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I
there was
don't
a
know
thunderstorm.
how that catfish went right round that lily pad.
It was absolutely hammering it down.
Right.
Like, I mean, torrential.
Okay.
He's a good un. Right? He's in this swim. He's basically got clear channel and pads.
Right.
And this thing is absolutely ripped into the pads. And you can see it. It's in the pads, like, the pads are moving. To say that it's torrential, I'm sure the lake was filling up as I was walking through it. Got my waders on, I thought, right, rescue this, followed the line. It's gone in the pads, round the pads, back round the pads, through the pads.
It's gone round the pads, fully round the pads and up the lake.
I'm in there.
I'm pulling the rod.
It's close to breaching.
All the pads are going.
Yeah, and then as he lets go, it must have been 2 o'clock in the morning, wasn't it?
Honestly.
And I'm in there, hand lining through this, ripping it round the pads, getting some more pads out. It was a catfish of about, I don't know what.
£18.
Yeah,
no,
about 18.
not even that. £15.
Yeah. I've spent about 45 minutes in the water in torrential rain for a £15 catfish. He was like, I was asleep. Once I'm asleep, leave me be.
Get the ump though.
Chop. I've got a good one.
It's a catfish, absolutely flat rotting him in the pads. Oh, he got that bait and approach right, didn't he?
Worst bit is I still think about that now because I was fishing tight clutches.
Yeah, but them cats are just
Yeah. As soon as I put
They're
the rod up,
absolutely
obviously
savage.
it's just flat rodded me and gone.
They are
Like that,
powerful.
yeah.
You know when you got one.
Mate, I got up in the morning, looked at these pads, and it looked like someone had a weed machine in there. There was clumps everywhere, floating, drifting,
The other
missing.
one is, remember that night for the BCAC at Orchard?
Oh.
The Thursday night overnight.
We thought it'd be good. BCAC on a Friday, no one over there. No, there ain't no one over there. So we went round the other side, on the other spit.
Oh, there's a spit on 7.
Yeah. We was on basically opposite the track side, and we're on the spit. I think there was 1 or 2 kicking around, walking about. That was it. So we went round the other side. Geezer just mowing it. Like it looked like an abandoned field, and then he's out there with a big old tractor, and he's mowing the lot. All right, lads, can you just hold on a minute? I'm just going to mow this. Yeah, all right, lovely, mowed it. So we got set up, and that's it. They start turning up, don't they, on a Thursday evening. 2x2, isn't it?
Literally,
Oh, mate, how you getting on?
Pairs of turn up for
Oh, mate,
BCAC.
like for ages.
And it went on from like 6 o'clock.
I'm sure the
about
same people kept asking.
10:30, and then they'd go and do a lap, come and ask us again, come and do a lap, go and ask us again. And we were getting, it was kittens, them little catfish, like.
But it didn't start
Like
almost
a
until
pound.
they stopped walking round. It was about half
Yeah.
9, 10, and that was the first one I went, mate, they were this big.
Right.
Yeah, till
Right.
about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning,
Sod that.
Right.
all night.
The best bit of it though, this is my favourite bit, it's obviously after about the third pair coming to swim, me and Jobber are sitting there. Should we start saying we've had a few? So everyone that come round, we told them a different story.
Yeah,
So
we
when
did.
they
I
got
remember it. Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah, when they got
Yeah.
back to the car park, obviously they're all
Yeah.
going, yeah, they're clearing up over there. He's had a £50. No, he ain't. He had a £20. I know how that
Yeah,
feels.
because what was it? You said something like, someone, you could hear footsteps. So how many are we telling them this one? I don't know. Nothing? No, we can't say nothing.
Nothing.
4.
Four.
Does that sound reasonable? We've only been here. Yeah, 4. Like, Jesus. Yeah. So I think everyone.
We do it in the
Yeah.
matches.
Yeah.
The first thing we do.
We had nothing to do with the
walk round,
match.
just talk to
We
everyone
was
we
just
do it.
having a social night.
Yeah,
There.
yeah.
Absolutely nothing
It
to
just
do
so
with the
happened
match.
that the BCAC was on the Friday.
Yeah.
We were there on the Thursday.
We thought we
for a
didn't
work
go
night.
because we didn't realise until we was actually there that there was no one there because it was BCAC the next morning, and we was like, oh, we might as well fish anyway.
Yeah, because I think we had the plan because
I think we was going to fish 8.
on 8.
I think we was going to fish 8, but
that-
obviously because the BCAC was on 7,
Yeah.
everyone was on 8. And we was like,
Yeah.
oh, we'll just do the night anyway. We're only doing the
and
night
8,
anyway.
and 8, I think at the time or 7 had the bigger
It had-
stock, like the better stock.
I think at the time it had still 4 40s in it. It's not got it anymore, but at one point I'm sure there was something like 4 or 5 40s in it.
Yeah, we.
For a period, there was a real good period of time where it was full of real good uns. Like real good uns.
I think I had a couple of upper 20s out of late 7 when me, you and Lloyd went over there.
That was 8. 8.
No, yeah, 8. Sorry,
Yeah.
8, because that's the one with the 4
Yeah.
islands, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we was casting up that channel.
Yeah.
And we used to do all right, didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah, but then that going back to the baiting approach thing, if you got it right on there, we done a 36 hours, something like 48 hours, me Lloyd and took his girl Olivia. And we was surface fishing, it was red hot surface fishing. Lloyd was one side, I was to the right. There was a geezer next to me, right? It's, I don't know, 20 odd degrees. They are all over the top. And I'm feeding mixers. I can't remember, I think I'd had about 8 by now. This geezer's got his rods out on the bottom, stood in my swim next to me. A few fish out there, aren't there? I'm like, mate, you're 15 yards from me. They're all up against the island. God, you're doing all right, aren't you? I'm like that, mate. Lloyd come over about 10 minutes later. Once he walked off, he was like, what's he not? I was like, mate, he says I'm doing all right. So is he not going to put any mixers out? Nah. Half an hour later, he comes back. Well, another one then, yeah. I must have had 9 fish and he stood next to me.
Still not put a single.
Still got 3 rods on the bottom. Absolutely clueless. So we fished with 1 rod. Got to whatever time it was, right, had enough of that, put the rods down. I think we took a load of particle with us, thought we'll have a few. Well, Lloyd's put 2 rods out and that first bomb's hit it and that's it. Like, they're kicking off. Rods are kicking off. I thought, I'll have a go at that. I think I put rods out. I think I had 3 on the bounce or something like that. I was done. I'm not, that's me out for the night. Just, Lloyd kept going. I think Lloyd got however many fish deep, 5, 6, 7 fish deep in kind of in an hour. And then he was like, I'm not keeping that up. That's me done for the night.
I'll tell you, we have got some stories between us, but the person with the most stories is probably Lloyd.
Aye.
He's got some stories, hasn't he? But before, I think we'll wait for him to come on.
Oh, mate, 100%.
Stories.
He keeps going, I ain't doing it. I ain't doing
think
it.
what needs to happen
But all he
is-
kept saying all week is, oh, don't forget your podcast. So he wants to do it.
I think
I
what
would
needs to
like
happen
to-
He
is
loves-
we get Lloyd on.
Yeah.
And next we get a revisit both guests, both of them.
Possibly,
Because I
yeah.
think them two, because you boys have fished so much.
We were talking about this earlier,
Right,
actually.
brothers.
I think Lloyd texted me saying that we have fished together for over half of his life, and he's 40.
He's old.
That's 20 years.
He's well.
Oh, I said the same thing. He's old. Yeah. He's 40 this year. Yeah, I think we have fished for at least 20 years together.
Yes, that's a nice thing.
Yeah.
It's a nice
Yeah.
thing.
I remember his first PB. When you look back now, it was just the most Lloyd thing ever.
Yeah.
We fished the lake in Groombridge, you'll remember it, Birch Den, it's someone's garden now.
Oh,
It was the mecca of surface fishing.
Oh, honestly.
It what got me into surface fishing, because it was just the only way to fish it.
Crazy, didn't it?
Yeah, the only way to fish it was surface fish it.
Everybody used to go down there like all kids, 15, 14 year olds. Crazy being there.
Yeah. Just take dog biscuits.
You had an interesting story about a crayfish recently, didn't you?
Caught one on a zig. 6 foot zig.
How's that even possible?
I spoke to someone, and what they reckon they do is that they climb the line and obviously pull it down. Or if you're fishing tight up against weed beds, they can be in the upper layers of the weed bed.
That does make
and
sense.
get them that way. So how true it is, I do not know. But yeah, I thought
It's lucky he went that way and not that way, otherwise he'd be up at your rod tip.
it wasn't going nowhere, was it? It was 100 yards out there. Yeah, I thought I must have one by now. They're showing or whatever. Anyway, back to the original story. Lloyd hooked this fish off the top. I think it was using Shimano 5010, and the spool just went, just line absolutely everywhere. So I think it was about £18. We were young. Like this must have been, I must have been 12. Must have been 20 plus years ago. And he had to wrap this thing around his spool.
Oh, no.
Line, jumper, line, all the way. Well, not even around his spool, just literally round the neck of the reel. Just literally like that. And I think I should have realised back then that it was only ever going to go that way with him. Trees. If there's a tree here, find it.
We'll have to get him on.
He's coming on. He's not. He reckons he's not coming on, but he
is.
Yeah,
he is.
Yeah.
There's a few things that I think we need his input on, and that's cooking and photography. And we've got
Yeah,
to discuss
a lot of us.
The chef.
Yeah.
To the point, right?
He's got the physique of a decent chef.
What show? Was it what show did we go up to?
Show?
Big one? Is it big one?
Possibly.
Yeah,
What-
it was the big one.
Was it the big
We've
one?
been to all of them, so is there a
No, it
specific
was
time?
the last one we went to.
Big
The last one was the
Big one, yeah.
Yeah.
They were doing an offer, weren't they, under Cobb Coles. How many you got then? Oh, I've still got plenty. Come another box, please, mate. There you go, Lloyd, chef. So I fueled the chef. So we've been making the most of them recently.
Yeah, good.
We've done
good.
just been
You
up.
are like,
You are good. Cobb's on next level.
are they?
Lloyd can cook a steak to perfection.
Oh yeah, no, he can.
On a cob as well.
On a cob.
On a cob as well. He done it for me, him and Adam. Mate, honestly, he's into it. He's just so like.
I might have to have a look at one of them then.
They're well worth it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We cooked
It
last
is
week.
bad though. I do sort of get there and just go,
Oh, I'm a pot
kebab.
noodle king.
No kebab. I'll just end up with a takeaway.
Oh, I can't even bother to go to the gate.
Oh, I ain't that bad.
He's too busy spotting.
He is.
Dunking.
I've got right into doing microwave meals at the minute in a saucepan. It's good.
Mate, but on the cob, as long as it's got a metal tray,
Yeah, you're right.
we done a relatively sized lasagna. I'll send you the photo for it. And garlic
Dough balls.
Garlic dough balls or something like that.
Yeah.
in the cob. Meal for two. Mate, it was beautiful. Chips, like, we've done loads on it.
I've done leg of lamb with roast
Because you can get
potatoes.
stacks for them. You can stack stuff.
Do pizzas.
They've got like a hot plate, so you basically turn it into a barbecue.
I'd like to see how one works.
Oh, mate, they're brilliant.
It's,
No, no.
Like, yeah,
There's
they're-
loads,
oven.
there's loads of different things.
yeah,
to do,
different plates and grills and yeah, all
and then you
sorts.
can get
Yeah,
like a curry one, can't you? You can get a curry dish, so you can cook a curry and then put the lid back on to like boil it and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a
but you
really
can
weird
stand it in your
concept.
bivvy. The bottom doesn't get hot.
Does it not?
No.
So you can pick it up while it's still alight. And stuff.
Yeah.
It's a really, really good concept. It's clever,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you don't. It's basically an oven. Like that's the way.
It's an
not
on-the-bank
anything-
oven.
It's not anything else. It's an oven. Anything you
Right.
can cook in an oven at home, it go in a cob.
Right. I've seen them. I've just not looked into it.
Wait,
to see how
when
they
you
work.
when you see one, there's loads of things like that. When you see one in the flesh,
Yeah.
you'll sit there and go, do you know
They're a
what?
couple of £100. Though that's the.
I think it depends. It's like anything. It
Yeah, you
depends
buy what kit you
what
buy.
attachments you want. Like, do you want
Yeah.
the plate? Do you want that certain grill? Do you know what I mean? So
I think it put me off cooking my own food when Panda cooked a chicken for 2 hours and it's still anemic by the end of it.
Where was that?
I missed
Medium
this.
rare?
was this not Hartleyland?
It may well have been hard.
Was it the social when you lot were on the other bank?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I missed
ever
that.
since then,
I'm pretty lucky I got a lucky escape from that, I think.
just got takeaway.
Yeah.
What, medium rare chicken?
No, I'll tell you where it was. There was loggies at the charity match.
Was it?
Yeah. Pretty sure it was. Speaking about stories though, what I would like to do is anyone watching the podcast, I'd like them to send their funny stories in. Because
Yeah.
I've seen that on another podcast and
Oh,
it's
mate,
hilarious.
Yeah,
I might be busy for the next 3 evenings sending them in about Lloyd. There is a habit to start calling him George. He
I
just
think we
finds every
better
tree.
Explain the t-shirt situation though.
Yeah, I was just thinking that we've all ended up. Well, this wasn't arranged either.
It wasn't. No.
When I walked out my front door and Dan went, "You got the same t-shirt on?"
Oh no.
Walked into Brad's house and, "You alright? You alright?"
Oh no.
You can't write it.
No.
I mean, 2 of you, it's a bit of a
Yeah.
coincidence, 3 of you.
But I mean, because of how lightweight and airy and cool they are in this weather,
Oh, you make it, I live
yeah,
in one.
yeah. My brother's worse.
www.post.
I think Cole's got about 3 of them, hasn't
Has he?
he? Yeah, he just lives in them.
Oh, that's the point. He wants another one.
Yeah,
He wants a
yeah.
black one, so I'll
Because
take that
he
home.
plays so much darts, he just
Yeah.
he gets through them so quick. He just
Needs
needs another one.
Yeah, next level, mate.
Yeah, they are. Oh, good. Well, we'll wrap things up there, shall we?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was enjoyable. Chop, love it to see
No,
you again.
it's been a
Thank you for
pleasure.
coming on, mate.
Yeah. Cheers, mate.
No, good chat. Good bits of advice there for any newbie started out in the kart world. There's plenty of advice.
Just go. It's just go, isn't it?
Actually, one more thing. Newbies and lead rig setup. What would you if you were and I know I'm dragging this back up and we're going back over it again.
No,
but I think it's a good point that I think the whole angling industry is so flooded with all these rigs and lead setups, heli,
I think if you're a newbie getting into it, you're not going to go to somewhere that's heavily silted, heavily weeded. You're going to fish a day ticket.
But that's the problem. There are people doing that.
What I feel with most newbies, the first place they head is a day ticket before they even know about syndicate. So if you're a newbie on it, look at the rules. 99% of places are going to allow a leg clip. Corda do a really good leg clip that's obviously got non-serrated leg clip. So it's super safe. If you accidentally push the tail rubber on too far, the lead can still eject.
Yeah.
So it's about as safe as it
Idiot
gets.
proof.
And it is idiot proof. And
Yeah.
I've spoke to many lakes about rules and things like that. And 99% of them say you have to idiot proof things. Not that we're against new people starting, but there's so many misled information about this and that. And there are rigs that don't eject stuff properly, but they're in the right situation. That's when they get used.
Yeah.
Whereas I think for the standard person, leg clip, you can buy ready-made rigs. So whatever video you've watched and you fancy, I mean, the Ronnie rig's obviously the go-to in it for the reset.
Yeah.
Buy them ready-made and just get out fishing, and then when you're on the bank, then learn. I mean, I think Corda and a few other people, they do a kit where you can, if you want to tie it yourself, you can buy the components you need. So, I mean, it's almost fail-safe, isn't it? So you just need to sort of almost pick one setup and start catching fish before you start.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think that is get confidence in what if you've chosen a way of fish, chosen a rig or what, use it, catch on it.
Yeah.
And then go, okay, I know that the Ronnie's going to work.
Yeah.
Right, that's my pop-up rig now. What am I going to do about a wafter or a bottom bait or,
90% of day tickets are clay dug pits.
Yeah.
And,
So
they-
you can
and that
use-
is where you're going to start. Whoever starts on a syndicate, there's probably a handful of people, probably 10% of people start on a syndicate because their mate's on one.
Yeah, but but even then, you're on a syndicate because you've got someone with you.
Yeah,
You've got guidance, you've got someone to
100%.
go,
Yeah.
okay, you need this, you need that,
Yeah,
you need
to
this,
show
you need
you
that.
how.
Or you go, and you go, don't go too close to them pads because you will get pulled into them.
Yeah.
And then
But I think it goes back to what we were saying earlier, but 99% of bailiffs, if you was to rock up to them and say, look, point me in the right direction,
Yeah.
not just of the fish, is what I'm doing okay? 99.9% of them, I am adamant, will go, that's fine. I would maybe just do this, or you need a bit longer tubing, or this is what you need to do for our rules, which will obviously help you. But I think too many people are scared to ask that.
And the other one is...
It's too intimidating, isn't it? The minute you do anything, you put a comma in the wrong place on the internet, you get torn to shreds.
Yeah.
So I think some people are scared to ask.
Mate, every fish I see that goes up on Facebook is just all the comments are, mate, you need new scales, check the scales out, take the scales off.
Where's your mat?
But then that goes back to lake perspective, doesn't it? If they're holding it slightly low, too close, that wrong angle, people are taking the photo too high. Do you know what I mean? But then that's a different world we could end up into.
Why can't we just live in a world where everyone could just
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, well done.
You're better off
Good
not
on you, mate.
You're better off not taking a photo.
Yeah.
And just enjoying it yourself.
Or stick it on a frame on the side and don't post it on social media.
You've got nothing to prove.
No,
and
you haven't.
I've been battered by especially you, Lloyd, and a few other mates. I've caught so many fish I've not taken a photo of.
Yeah.
And they're like, why? But because I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I have nothing to prove.
There is a couple of points though. I mean, we fished quite a lot down at a little lake in Tunbridge Wells, and I remember you catching one, flopping it back over the net cord, I think was your exact words, and you went, I think that might have been a good one.
I've done, yeah. Do you know what? I've done that recently with a fish. Do you see that fish
that might have been a good one.
that mirror that Adam caught? 30, 38?
Yeah.
Oh, recently, where was he?
Tricklebrook.
Yeah.
I caught that fish a few years back, and I thought, ain't a bad looking fish. Like for here, a lot of them have been quite plain, but obviously they started stocking some nicer fish. So I literally just photo that side, slipped it back. Got it on, caught a 33-pound common, got it in the net. Well, ain't a bad common. Weighed it 33 pound. So what was that one last night then? I was a bit like, that must have been very similar. And I hadn't really seen anyone catch it until Adam caught it like 38, whatever. And this was only a few years ago. And I was like, the fish in there, they're not renowned for packing on pound. They probably do a pound a year.
Yeah.
Just it's the environment at some places, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just that's how the fish are. And that was another situation I thought I probably should have weighed that. I've done it a few times. Like you said, Orchard was one of them. I caught a lovely mirror, and I think it might possibly be the one you had at 26 something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was only a couple of months before. And when he caught it, I think it was the next morning. I think I might have spoke to you and I said I did have. Problem is sometimes when I do overnight, especially on Orchard, a Sunday night, everyone's gone home, the place comes alive. And you can go over there with literally 5 kilo of boilie and I just spray it in an area. And I was fishing a lot of time 2 rods because 3 was too many.
Yeah.
And by the time it gets 3 o'clock in the morning, I've had 8 or 9 fish and the rods are coming in because I've got to go to work. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely done. And that was one of them. I think it was midway through the night. And I think he phoned me and went, how'd you get on? Oh, I slipped one back. I probably should have had a look at. I've done it. But I've done it at, where was it? Went to Mousehole, fished there, Specimen Lake. Spoke to the bailiff. Not really done a lot. 1 or 2 fish over the weekend. I had 6. And that was, I rocked up there literally just before the gates closed at about 4:45 one afternoon. Went on, no one else on the Specimen Lake, went on there. Yeah, had 6. And there was 1 or 2 of them. I've probably done the same. Probably should have photographed and weighed.
Yeah, slipped
But
straight back.
sometimes it's the opposite. It's, I just want to get another one.
Yeah.
But other times I'm just like, I've enjoyed it.
I think that's a very valid point there. Everybody goes fishing for their own reasons.
Yeah.
And
They do, yeah.
A lot of people don't, I mean, personally, I like taking a picture of them because we've put them through the stress, and I probably put them through more stress, photographing them, but it's my trophy. You know what I mean? And I don't post them to anywhere. They're just in my album. I know I've had them. I'm happy. Job done. And
my memory's shocking.
Yeah.
So I just
horrendous.
stick everything on Instagram. Otherwise, it clogs up my memory on my phone.
Yeah.
So I just post them all on Instagram, and I can delete them off my phone.
Yeah.
I'm terrible.
I'll still get abused.
Yeah, terrible. But I think it's just that, innit? Like we're saying, going back to the beginner's thing, just go and enjoy it and do what you want to do.
Yes.
Don't be misled. Don't
you.
feel the pressure to go and have to fish here and
Yeah.
you've turned up there, so you have to fish a solid bag, or you have to fish a heli, or you have to fish this, or you have to fish that. Just go and do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And the less for the first year or so, or 6 months at least, if you don't post anything on social media, you'll be far happier for that first 6
You'll
months.
enjoy that a hell of a lot more. 100%.
Yeah.
Once the confidence takes over, you can do what you like.
Yeah.
And if you're a young lad getting into it and you are not sure and you are fishing, go and speak to another angler around the lake because they will help you no end.
100%.
They will help you. They will probably end up giving you stuff. I mean, you know, I don't think I've ever sold anything on eBay. All of my stuff's gone to other people. Like you were saying with that young lad over at
Yeah.
All of my stuff, you know, I've given away
There's
expensive
to be
bits
fair,
as
there's
well.
a couple of. I've got a carry bag for Harvey.
Yeah.
He's just getting into it.
Yeah.
He's one of them. He's exploring everything. He's young. He's been watching. He's been learning. He's this, that, and other. And I said, he was like, "Oh, I want to try this, that, and other." And I was like, "Mate, I've got like a carry bag of hook baits at home. You can experiment as much as you like. You ain't got to buy them. Like I see loads of people on Facebook selling them. 10 pots of hook baits, £5 a pot. That's what you paid for them, mate.
Yeah.
Just donate them to someone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Help someone out.
Yeah.
So I've got a carry bag at home. I keep meaning to drop it round to him. But yeah, just take.
I think
mate, just go and help yourself.
You know, thinking angler's rucksack. And I remember giving it to him, and I was like, "Yeah, go for it." Then I saw one come up on second hand on Facebook for 50 quid, and I'm like, probably should have sold something. But it's good for me.
Yeah,
you know?
mate.
But
Or maybe we do something on the page as well. If I tag a couple of names
100%.
on YouTube.
Yeah,
if I do your social media accounts, they can message you or
yeah, 100%.
any one of us. We'll always help people out as well.
Hook baits over hook baits.
We're not
over
saying
hook
we're the
baits.
best anglers in the world.
Yeah, I mean, if people,
nothing like that.
if people just want genuine advice, and you're not going to get judged. I mean, don't be worried about putting a stupid question to us.
No,
right?
there ain't
because
no such thing as a stupid question.
there's nothing to be embarrassed about because we all started there.
100%.
We have all made more
I
mistakes
started
than
on turkey sandwiches. So
Yeah.
Look at you now.
Look at me flying.
Absolutely flying.
Not as well as that turkey.
Yeah.
It can be stressful though. I mean, look at Dan. He's pulled his hair out. So
Gone, isn't it?
I mean,
Still gone.
right, we're going to wrap that up for a second time.
Yeah, we'll
let's wrap it up.
For a second
It's
time.
about 400 degrees in here.
Yeah, it's really hot.
Roasting, isn't
Cup of
it?
tea, and then you boys can shoot. I'm going to
got
bed.
to all the lightweight t-shirt.
Yeah, the plug, little plug.
Yeah.
Have you got any
Are we-
stock left though?
Oh, I've got.
Are we wearing the hoodies next?
I'll send a memo.
Uniform.
Dress code. There is a dress code before you can enter.
No, but yeah, we'll do the funny story thing. So if any viewers have got any funny stories, do send them over to us, and we'll have a flick through them because some of them stories are quite funny.
Yeah.
Oh mate, I've still got a couple of classics.
Yeah, that'd be quite a good thing
Yeah.
to have on the show. But no, it's going well. Next week we'll do the next one.
Do you know the guest for next week? Have they
We're
been
not having a
invited?
guest. Me and Taddy again next week.
Nice.
Then the week after that,
Yeah.
we'll have another guest on.
So we've discussed it. I think we're going to do 5 episodes, season 1, and see how we go, and then review production, how we're going, and then go full.
So you're going to criticise his production?
No.
Correct. That's exactly what's going on.
How's his editing? How's his editing progress
The most
throughout?
stressful thing I've got on the way was the road closed. Brad takes care of everything else.
I do.
Yeah.
So I'm not criticising, I'm just saying that we need to, build,
Assess.
get it better. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Well,
Stress free.